Hey guys, what's up? It's munclesonkey and welcome to my top 10 most forgotten about monsters in RS. So out of all my top 10 videos so far, this one is by far just the one that's most done for fun. It's not really a mathematical overview of anything, as it would be pretty hard to determine which are the most forgotten about monsters in all of RS. That way it would require some sort of humongous poll. But my only requirement for this is the monsters actually had to be something you could go and see, as long as you had the requirements to reach them, of course. It can't be only in a quest. So stuff like, I don't know, the tormented demons that you can only kill in the Walgethic Sleeps quest were out of the picture, not like they're obscure to begin with. And second of all, it can't be a unique monster, so it can't just be one guy who has a unique name, because there's lots of those that are really obscure in the game. So I decided not to go over those just because there's too many, and it's more fun actually knowing of a species or subspecies of monster rather than a whole bunch of dudes with weird names stuck in houses out in the middle of nowhere. So let's go ahead and get into this video, and hopefully at least a few of these you guys will not recognize. And also, just as a game, put down in the comments how many of these you had no idea even existed. And I know even I was kind of surprised by a couple of these monsters and didn't even know they were in the game. Number 10 on the list, or the least obscure out of these 10, at least to me, was the dried zombie. You can find dried zombies by going to the little plateau thing, which is to the east of the city of Sophonem. The easiest way to get there is to teleport with a Pharaoh's Scepter, then just run east. You actually have to go up here for the Dealing with Scabarus quest and kill these things for notes, and then you have to do that more as a completionist cape requirement. You don't have to kill the zombies, you can kill the skeletons too, but if you haven't done that quest or killed these, you probably have no idea these existed. Number 9 is skeleton fremennichs, and you probably will never encounter these unless you do the quest Olaf's quest, in which you go into a dungeon and kind of walk around them. You don't have to kill them during the quest, and you can access them after the quest. The only way to access these, though, however, is to go on top of a random snowdrift in the middle of nowhere and dig on a seamlessly uninteresting spot, and then you get down into this dungeon where there's brine rats, which have been dead content for years, as well as a few skeleton fremennichs. So unless you have done the Olaf's quest recently or are going to in the future, you probably will have no encounter with these things, and I kind of forgot they existed because I did that quest years ago, as many of you probably have. They're kind of a cool looking creature though, so I just like the graphic design of these, and that's a main reason why they made the list as well. Number 8 on the list is the Sword Chick. So this is down in the Tower of Life dungeon. There are a couple monsters down here. I believe the only ones that people actually kill are the unicows, but possibly the ones that drop eels and spider eggs as well. They sound kind of like a decent money-making opportunity. The Sword Chick sounded like the dumbest and mostly useless one to me, and it was also the only one that I did not know had existed in the Tower of Life dungeon. So you put together a raw chicken and some feathers, and you kill a chicken that drops even more feathers. Yeah, kind of dumb. So it's probably for good reason why me and many of you did not know about this particular creature. Number 7 on the list is the Stag. Now this one may or may not have had a little bit of publicity recently due to the old school Iron Man accounts having to go to this particular area to collect rune axes, but the Stag is located within the Enchanted Valley, which is also the resting place of a few old random events that are no longer used. You can access the Wood Dryad random event, which is how you get rune hatchets by attacking the trees, or trying to chop them down, and then the Dryads will attack you rather. And there's also the Frog Prince and the Princess here, as well as the Rock Golem if you try to mine. There's only one stag spawn in each world, but it's definitely not a unique creature because it's a stag and there's really nothing special about it. Kind of a cool looking area though. There's also rabbits in here that you can slaughter if that is what you desire to do. Number 6 on this list is General Malpractitioners. These are located in a resource dungeon on Brain Death Isle, and the only way that you can access these is by first completing the A Clockwork Syringe quest. And yes, there is an A in the name of that quest for some reason. I didn't throw that in there just to be socially awkward or to stutter or anything. And you fight these along with rum-pumped crabs in this dungeon. This used to be a pretty decent way of making money back when brackish blades were 1 mil, and now they're like 150k, and I have my doubts that they even sell for that. People were after the rum-pumped crabs, not the general malpractitioners. However, they were down here and they threw stuff at you, and I believe they poisoned you, and they're just a general nuisance. So it used to be the strategy to trap them in other rooms and then run around and get the rum-pumped crabs to attack you. Also, they're aggressive, so this used to be an AFK way of making like 1.5 mil an hour. It used to be pretty legit, not so much anymore. However, it still is AFK if anyone wants to go there for some reason. I really don't understand why you would, although these can be assigned as a Slayer task from one of the Slayer Masters, I think, one of the lower level ones, as they are kind of lower level creatures. Anyway, kind of a cool looking area because it is underwater. We need more underwater areas. So number 5 on this list is an Icelord, and you might be thinking to yourself, what the heck is an Icelord? And also, why are you tickling a polar bear? I'm going to answer one of these questions, and an Icelord is a monster that's located in the Penguin base. Now you fight these, and really the only time you'll ever fight these is during the Cold War quest. You have to kill one of them to escape from the cage, which you're locked into them with. I believe after you get caught or something like that. And you can just kill an Icelord, and you can come back, and they count for a Slayer task of something. I'm not really entirely sure what they count as, because look at them. What other monster could these be classified as? One interesting thing about Icelords, though, is they are aggressive, and I stayed in this cage for like 5 minutes, and they never stopped attacking me. So these might be a permanently aggressive monster, or they might just have the 10 minutes of aggressiveness. Kind of weird, though, why there's 4 monsters in here. They spawn really fast. If these gave like 500 XP per kill, they'd be amazing XP, but sadly they're not. Number 4 on this list is called No-Eels. I'm not really sure how to pronounce that. I'm imagining the G is silent because it kind of looks like the word gnome, and then the word gnome, the G is silent. So we're going to go with that. They also inhabit an icy place, and this is up by the fremennih hunter area, or the snowy hunter area. And the only time you'll ever experience these is during the Glorious Memories quest, although I don't actually remember fighting any during the Glorious Memories quest, although my memory could just not be glorious. But you go into a little cave here, and there's a whole bunch of them, and they're kind of abusing some Yetis. So your goal is to free the Yetis and kill the No-Eels, although I highly doubt any of you will ever go here because there's really no reason to. These can't be assigned as a Slayer task, and their drops are poor at best, so there's no reason to go down here. But one thing that's kind of strange is those Yetis are so tiny, and the No-Eels are too, and they're also aggressive, which is kind of cool. I guess the story behind these is the No-Eels turn people into Yetis, and then they kill them. Number 3 on this list is Undead Trolls, and I do not want to talk about Undead Trolls, but I have to because otherwise the next couple of minutes of this video would be extremely boring, so let's do the best that I can. How about that? So Undead Trolls are an extremely annoying monster to get to, as I experienced. You have to bring Death Runes, and you have to bring Law Runes, and you also have to bring a full set of Dagon High robes, and you have to have it equipped. Also, you have to at least have completed or gotten to the point during the Walguthic Sleeps quest to actually access these. There's no reason why you'd want to access these. I just found them quite obscure, which is why I'm showing them off here. So I had to make several trips because I kept forgetting stuff, and the website that I was using as a guide for how to get to them was obscure at best. Kind of like the monsters themselves, so I can't really blame them for that or anything. We have to run all the way through the Black Knight's Fortress underground base, the secret base with a whole bunch of elite Black Knights in it. It's pretty cool. If those elite Black Knights did not use prayer, because they do, they'd be one of the best training methods in the game, but unfortunately, whenever you attack them, they switch prayers to whatever style you're using, so they're extremely annoying to kill. And there are a whole bunch of undead trolls kind of scattered around this area up here. There's also some kind of in the wilderness part that you can only gain access to using the path that I was taking. However, I'd rather not go in the wilderness because it's easier to teleport out when you're not in the wilderness. So I also found out that one of these trolls is invincible. As you can see, yes, he has 1 HP, and I attacked him several more times and he did not die. So there is actually an invincible NPC in RS that's attackable, and he doesn't use prayer, but he is actually invincible. So I really don't know why that happened. I have no idea if that's a glitch or if that's on purpose, but the other undead trolls are killable. I did kill a couple more off camera, so it's just that one that's invincible as far as I know, so that very well could be a glitch. Kind of an interesting one, but kind of an interesting monster as well. Number 2 on this list is the Tenacious Toucan, and yes, this monster may or may not have gained a few points in rank on this list due to its awesome name, and there's also a monster that goes along with it called the Promiscuous Parrot. That's a pretty cool looking one, and you can fight these in the Vine Maze that you experienced during the Back to My Roots quest, and also if you're trying to kill these monsters for Clarence the Mage parts of his body when you're doing that little mini quest. This is where you do it, and it has a whole bunch of really obscure monsters in there because the quest itself was quite short and you don't spend a lot of time in the maze, and you don't also have to spend a whole lot of time in here to get the parts for Clarence. So this maze is kind of strange because it's very unnecessary, but really cool name for the monster. Probably my vote for the coolest name in RS for an NPC. Number 1 on this list is the Summoned Zombie, and only because this is possibly the most pointless monster in all of RS. You get no XP for killing it. How you actually get the Summoned Zombies, you have to go upstairs in this house by the Tower of Life and punch the Necromancer for a little bit because you don't want to kill him immediately. And he will summon zombies. Why he summons zombies, I don't know. Is there any point to killing him or the zombies? Absolutely not whatsoever. So there's just randomly a way to summon zombies or get zombies summoned for you in RS. I had no idea this existed. Probably 99.9% of people in RS had no idea this existed, but it's kind of interesting that there's just this really weird, obscure way to get summon zombies, and they look different than normal zombies too. So, alright. So that is about all for this video. Thank each and every one of you for watching. And how many of these monsters had you actually heard about? For me personally, the only monster that I had no idea existed and never even heard hinted about was the summon zombie. That was completely new to me. The other 9 I had at least experienced or heard about or seen in some form at some point. So most of that is because I've done every quest in the game and have been to a lot of areas, and that's probably the main reason why. Anyway, kind of thought this video was a lot of fun to make. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Leave in the comments what you want to see for the next top 10 video, which should be coming out in hopefully under a week, and farewell.